Hello my beautiful viewers on my channel, James Higgins Open World. Well, here we are, it's episode 3 of James Higgins Mysterious World. The first story today is a mysterious tale about parallel universes. If you don't know what parallel universes are, I will sort of explain. I'm no expert in any way, shape or form, but this is my understanding of it. Basically, what a parallel universe is, they reckon, some scientists reckon, I think it's unprovable, but who knows what technology will invent in the years to come. Basically, there's other versions of me and you and everybody on the planet in a parallel universe. Like me sitting here now talking to this camera. In a parallel universe, the other version of me could be walking out into the next room there, or going downstairs or going out. There could be another universe where this Coronis isn't. There's no Coronis. They made a TV series out of it called Sliders, where this lad invents a gizmo, but like a remote control, and he can jump from one parallel universe to the other. And he went to one parallel universe in the first episode, where, do you know, like when you're in your car and reds stop and greens go? Well, in this parallel universe, red was go and green was stop. And he went to another parallel universe where Elvis Presley never died, he was still alive. So you get where I'm coming? That's what I'm on about with parallel universes. Well, this is one of my favourite stories of parallel universes. It's a mysterious little tale. Right. The mysterious tale of the man from Chored. Right, here we go. The mysterious tale of the man from Chored, evidence for parallel universe or an embellishment. The man from Chored, sometimes referred to as the Chored mystery, or the man without a country, is a story about a man who arrives at a Japanese airport from a country called Chored. Many people have claimed this story to be true. So the crux of the... Just one second. So the crux of the problem pertains to Chored. One would notice that there is no country by the name of Chored, either today or during the purported period of time when the incident took place, i.e. the 1950s. The story ends with the man disappearing forever a day after arriving in Japan. Moreover, all his personal documents, such as his passport and driver's license, also conveniently disappear, thus making this strange story unsolvable. Now, they asked him as well where Chored was on the map. Anyway, he showed them it was in between Spain and France, so there, so that sort of area. And the man was obviously quite upset, because he said Chored had been a country for over 1,000 years, you know, and he had a passport and his documents, like it says, and it was in the 1950s. So it's a strange one, this one, because in the 1950s there'd be no printers and all the rest of it, so where you could fake a document or a passport. You know, they wouldn't be able to do it. So it's quite an interesting little story, that. I don't know what you make of it, but I find it quite an interesting parallel universe story, really. The mysterious tale of the man from Chored. The Chored, this is how it's spelled as well. T-A-U-R-E-D. Chored. So I don't know what you make of that. I find it really interesting. I like parallel universe stories. I've explained what they are. So anyway, that's story 1 today on the James Higgins Mysterious World episode 3. So thank you very much. Wait, in a minute we'll get to story 2. This is another parallel universe story I've just found. I've never read this one before, so it's quite interesting, this one. It's called The Green Children of Woolpit. So here we go. The Green Children of Woolpit are two of history's most enigmatic visitors, as well as the oldest tale of interdimensional travel known, dating back to the 12th century. The story says that two children were discovered on the outskirts of Woolpit, Great Britain, Unlike most children, these kids had one feature that really stood out: green skin. As soon as farmers found them, they began to cry in panic. The children were taken back into Wool Pit and given food and drink. At first they refused to eat. One child, a boy, refused to eat and starved to death. Another, a girl, began to eat uncooked beans. Slowly but surely her skin began to return to a normal colour. She wasn't able to speak the language, so it took a while to learn. Once she learned to speak English, she told an amazing story. The green girl claimed that she and her brother come from a place called St. Martin's Land, which was always in a state of darkness. Everyone there lived underground and had green skin. She also said that across the river was another luminous civilization. She said that they had come upon a cave and decided to explore. They ended up walking until they found Wool Pit. When they looked back, the cave had disappeared. When they looked back, the cave had disappeared. Most people who believe in the story agree that these two kids come from an alternate universe or dimension. What else could that story too? Another parallel universe story. It's very interesting, that one, isn't it? Two good ones there, isn't there, so far? Here on my channel, James Higgins Open World, and episode 3 of James Higgins Mysterious World. Welcome back. Well, I've got another story for you now. Another parallel universe story. This is story 3. Right, let's get to it. The man from Lisbon. In 1905, Paris police had arrested a strange-looking man for stealing a loaf of bread. It soon became clear that the man didn't speak any recognisable language at all. The language he spoke sounded familiar to Esperanto, but didn't have the right grammar at times. After much difficulty, police had finally found a way to get him to explain something about himself. They successfully asked him where he was from. He replied, Lisbon, and people initially thought that he was from Lisbon. He didn't understand Portuguese though, and he didn't recognise the map of Portugal when it was presented to him. He didn't take too much time for people to realise that he actually meant Lisbon was a country. Not much. One second. Not much could be found about what happened to him. Could it be that he went to his reality home? Well, who knows? A little story there. Eh? Bloody hell. Eh? Right, well, let's get to story 4. Here's another story. A parallel universe story. 1 second, and I'll read it to you. Right, here we go. Caspar Hauser. The story of Caspar Hauser has been pegged as a number of things. Some believe that it was the work of a man who wanted to pull a long con on high society. Others believe that Caspar Hauser was the victim of a bad abuse. Hauser was the victim of bad abuse. Still more believe that he's a traveller from another dimension. All that we know for sure was that he was a mysterious man who had appeared from nowhere. 1 second. In 1928, a young man with a limp was seen walking through the streets of Nuremberg. He called himself Caspar Hauser, could barely speak, and had an envelope that was addressed to the captain of the Nuremberg cavalry in his hand. Upon seeing the envelope, authorities brought him to the guard house, fed him and offered him beer. Things started to get strange when he began to behave like he never drank beer or ate food before. Just 1 second. Caspar Hauser didn't know much about the outside world, and it seemed like he wasn't used to wearing shoes. After some tutoring in German, he began to discuss his prior life, being locked in a room, given scraps for food, and having a single toy horse for company. He never saw his jailer, nor did he know who his father was. He was sensitive to foods, colours, and even magnets. It was as if the world was completely new to him. Eventually he became adopted by a socialite of Nuremberg and soon became part of high society. The attention, particularly after he wrote his autobiography, proved to be his undoing. He dealt with multiple assassination attempts, and it appears that one was eventually successful. Where did this man come from? Was it even our world? Well, what do you make of that one? Bloody hell. It's strange, isn't it? Well, there you go. Right, 1 second, we'll get story. It's a ghost story, this one. Right, ready? 1 second, right. I was living with my sister and she went away on holiday for a week. So I had the house to myself. I was heading to bed and turned out all the lights. I was laying in bed and I heard what I thought was a guitar being played. So I head downstairs to see what the noise was. I found my guitar laying on the ground and picked it up and put it back on my stand. I go to head back to bed, and again I heard the guitar being played. Head back downstairs to find again the guitar laying on the ground. Why was this spooky? It was the 11th anniversary that my dad had been deceased. He loved playing the acoustic as much as I do. Could not sleep well. We also do not own any animals, so I don't know how the guitar could have ended up on the ground twice. Well, that's a story in itself, isn't it? Eh? Bloody hell. For a second, and we'll get to another story. Right, this is the last story, Open Sesame. Right, here we go. Here on my channel, James Higgins Open World, and episode 3 of James Higgins Mysterious World. This is the last story. Right, Fiona Grant. It had been snowing heavily on and off for months. I went to open my side gate, but due to the weather, the lock was unmovable. So I called on the angels for help with opening the gate, and they guided me to press the gate with one finger in a certain place, and then try the lock, which opened as if the lock had been butchered. Thank you, angels, I said. Well, there you go, that's the last story of episode 3 on James Higgins' Mysterious World. So, if you've got any stories, please, of paranormal stories or angels or UFOs or anything, please send them in to my channel. And the address is James Higgins 69 at hotmail.com. So it's James Higgins 69 at hotmail.com. It's on the front of this video and at the end as well, in the credits. So thank you very much for watching James Higgins Mysterious World episode 3. Thank you. Bye.